So I just got done watching this week's episode of My Hero Vigilantes, and we got a lot of setup in this episode for what I'm hoping is going to be an absolutely banger of a season finale. Because in this week's episode, we get the start of the convenience store performance, where we get introduced to a lot of new characters, most of which being the idol group Feathers, where these two cause a lot of additional stress for Pop, who's already having a lot of self-confidence issues, where she feels like she's lesser than already, and these two only further perpetuate that, something that unfortunately is relatively common in the idol space, especially the indie idol space, where it's very cutthroat and competitive. You do have a lot of really close-knit idol families, but that's not always the case. We also get this really funny romance between the head of the Mad Hatters and the dance captain head. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I did find it kind of funny and cute, so I thought I'd mention it. We also get to see Captain Celebrity not only defeating another kaiju, but doing some additional advertisement for the convenience store opening, hoping to draw even more crowds to help his public image. Now, unfortunately, one of the idol group members of Feathers gets injured, causing Makoto to have to integrate Pop even greater into their performance to make up for the fact that they're not going to be able to dance around as much, which causes an even further tear in their already tenuous relationship between these three, because they feel like Pop is overstepping, even though it's Makoto trying to find a way to integrate. In this week's episode, we also get Mike and Midnight, two very popular characters from My Hero Academia, doing a little crossover into this show, trying to be the new heroes or up-and-coming heroes at this stage to hope give more of a gravitas to this event. Now, we also get the eel villain, who we saw a few episodes ago as being an obsessed fan of Pop, get returned in this episode and face off against Eraserhead. Now, Eraserhead does defeat them, only to get beaten again by their electric eel powers, which shuts down like half of the power grid of the area and causes a lot of trouble for both the opening of the convenience store and just the general population, which I'm curious to see how that goes. I do think Eraserhead's going to have a pretty easy time of it, but it is very interesting to see that his eraser abilities don't work when the villain is hopped up on Trigger. Now, we also get Knuckle Duster, who faces off against Toma, who is revealed to officially be his daughter, even though she doesn't seem to really remember it all that much. I'm really curious to see where this relationship dynamic goes. I also found it really interesting that we get introduced to another type of bee. I hope we get a better explanation of the way her powers work, because a lot of it previously was just bees that spread Trigger, and now we're getting bomb bees, which I'm curious to see if she can just make any type of bee, or if it's only specific types of bees. She has a preset. I don't know, but it's very interesting to me. But I think overall this episode was really, really good. A lot of really good setup. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like, drop a follow, and here, especially if you want to hear my thoughts on the season finale next week, because we're about to end off the spring